Hey everybody, welcome to Voice of the Students. I'm your host Mikey, along with
your co-host Ravine.
And everybody in this room today. We've seen a lot of new faces, a lot of reoccurring faces, so please introduce yourselves from the right side. Over here, Chris.
Oh, Chris. My name is Chris.
I'm Ian.
I'm Karan.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Gabriella.
I'm Austin.
I'm Scott.
My name is Fernando.
All right, cool. So today's podcast topic is horror video games. Since we're still in the month of October and it's the last week, we might as well kick it off with a nice little bit of horror video games. So, what is a horror video game that scared the bejesus out of you? Who wants to start with that? Anybody can start.
Oh, so we're looking at me. So I have to say, like, the very first game that scared the bejesus out of me would have to be Dead Space. The crazy thing about it is, I was real young when I got it, so I was around, like, give or take 10, 11, and I downloaded the demo of it. That's the thing, I downloaded the demo. It wasn't the full game. It was a demo. So I was just placed in the middle of the game. I had no idea what was going on at that time. And going through it, I'm just getting jump scared left and right with monsters that popping up at me and then just, like, killing me. So it was a horrifying experience, to say the least.
I agree. Very much. That was a very scary game.
It still traumatizes me to this day.
Oh god.
Because I played the demo too on like an Xbox, I think.
That's what I mean. I played it on Xbox 360 and it, like, scared the hell out of me.
What's the Easter egg with like the chapters? It's like if you take the first letter of the chapters or something, it spells out a code that spoils the ending to the game. I feel like you guys would know this.
Oh, I think it's like Nora or something like that. Like the Isaac's.
Her name began with a C. I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead.
We're talking about first horror game experiences that scared the hell out of you. Alright, how's about this? Can we talk about that, whatever Batman game it was, where they made the sadistic level where you're hiding from like Killer Croc in the sewers and
Arkham City!
The hell out of me.
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum too, yeah. Oh, I think.
No, that was the one. Arkham Asylum.
You're right.
No,
yeah.
wait, no, I'm like,
That scared me too.
I don't know if Arkham qualified, so I didn't want to mention it first. Arkham does qualify. That's probably the scariest I'll go.
there was this. It was Donkey Kong 64. Now, hear me out before I say that. There are these temples that you can go in, and like once you get whatever you need, out of nowhere, like a sniper crosshair just comes on the screen, and then someone in like a really deep ass voice just yells, "Get out!"
Oh, yeah.
That made me. I ran out of the room. I was like 5 years old playing that.
Yo, that's scary, especially if you have the volume all the way up. That's scary.
If we're talking about Arkham, when I played Arkham Knight, there's that. You guys probably seen it on YouTube if you don't play the game, but the jump scare where fucking Man-Bat comes from above. It's like you're grappling. It's like it can take any. It takes place at any point in the game, but essentially it's like you're just free roaming and you can grapple hook onto the roof of a building, and Man-Bat will just appear out of nowhere and just kind of attack you from it. And I thought that was pretty damn scary. I think the Arkham series in general just has just a sense of horror that isn't really overplayed. It still just really plays into the series really well. And if you still want to talk Arkham-related things, I think Gotham Knights, in its sense, is a horror fest with the ratings it's getting. It looks bad. It looks like a horror show.
That's a very different kind of scary right there.
That's a different kind of scary. I've seen the combat. It looks horrendous.
Okay, so I mean, it kind of qualifies as a horror game. I did Black Ops, zombie mode, where you go, like, the little zombie things, and you have to go through the abandoned hotel or whatever, and that was the first game I've actually played. So being able to play that, I wasn't expecting for half of the graphics or anything at that time on a video game, and so yeah, that scared the crap out of me, that one.
I'm curious, how far did you get before you started seeing the crawlers, or did you encounter them at all?
Oh, I did. I've only encountered them once, and I remember because I was playing with friends, and one of my friends one of my friends that I was playing with, at the time, not only just a friend, my husband. He was teaching me, and what I did was, I wasn't expecting it. You know how I'm building a wall, and you have to go through and everything like that. And this darn thing came out of nowhere, and I dropped the remote, and I ran out of the. I was just like, he was like, "Oh, just come back and play." I was like, "Nah, I'm done. I'm not playing no more." So that was the last time I experienced that, and I never played since.
I would say that's also like just like Call of Duty Zombies in general is like one of my first like scary moments in just gaming in general, because like we had World at War, and like we had this projector back at home, and like we just played like in the dark, and like you just see the zombies and like the gore just like freaking scary. It was really intense too. But more recently, have y'all played Bloodborne?
Yes.
That is like really intense too. Yeah, because that one loves its eldritch horror kind of deal. Yeah, and just like cosmic horror in general is really interesting to me. Although that's like my first and like only introduction to it, like I want to get into it.
Fastest uninstall it.
For real?
I got killed by like something. I forgot. It was like one of those things that like had like a big rock type club. I forgot. Well, you encountered on like a bridge. I got killed by that. I tried to go back and reclaim my stuff. And got killed by something else immediately. It was like, yep. It's not a game that I meant to play.
I had a similar experience in Dark Souls 3, because in that one there's like a part where you're supposed to backtrack and collect a doll before you cross this bridge.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the doll, which I didn't even know about it, you have this giant beast of an enemy that just starts dashing towards you and kills you. And you can't escape from it because there's an invisible wall right in front of you on that bridge.
Give me all that idea about any Soulsborne series. I'm good on.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think one of my first creepy experiences in the game wasn't even that much of a horror game, but Left 4 Dead 2. If any of you guys have played that one, the one enemy that like 6 out of 10 that just drags you over to
Oh, Smoker.
Yeah. That one creeped me out when I was playing it. Just because the fact I'm getting dragged helplessly towards them.
That would creep you out? Nah, the tank scared the hell out of me. Every time that music started playing, I'm like, oh no, where is he? I have to look where he is before it's too late. I'm just
and then he just charges at you, grabs you, starts slamming.
No, that's a charger. The tank is the bigger one that just slaps you around and just kills you entire group.
You just turn around and okay.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't find the witch scary though?
I found her scary if I decided to shoot her, but after a while it was just funny. I was just like,
yeah.
Okay. Well, when they're talking about scary games, there's a game that I do love, and it's Mortal Kombat, the new one that they came out a couple of years ago. But there are some parts of it where there's like half of them are like zombie-ish, and they're fighting their other half. So there were certain parts of it where you are fighting like your doppelganger, and they're like the evil version of them. And so I'm not gonna lie that it caught me off guard because it's not the Mortal Kombat I remember. So I was just like, okay, what the heck is this? But it was pretty scary somehow.
On the topic of Mortal Kombat, there's the crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The crypt is scary.
I'll be minding my business, getting stuff, just getting cosmetics, and then out of nowhere a wolf just appears. It's like, oh well, I guess I'll die.
Yeah, especially like in the cave in Mortal Kombat 10's crypt, just spiders jumping at me out of nowhere.
The worst part is it's a quick time event. I'm pretty sure.
I'm thinking of the Mortal Kombat 9, whatever one had Kratos in it.
Yeah, that's 9.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one where you literally just be walking around in the crypt, and then out of nowhere, this red, like skinless demon comes up and just yells at the screen.
Yeah, that one got me too.
Yeah.
I wasn't even like 13 yet, man. Like, come on, bro.
What was that you were talking about? Oh, dang, that's my phone. That's crazy.
You dropped your phone.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody else have a scary game?
I remember when I was like 7, I think, my cousin put on this game on the computer. It was like a maze. And if you failed the maze, you'd get a jump scare. I think it's the girl from The Exorcist. I'm pretty sure that jumped on the screen. I remember that game, I could not touch a computer for like a year after that. Because I was just terrified that she would just appear on the screen at me.
Just like the rest of us.
But we all been through that, man.
I think a lot of people in our generation were victims of the Scary Maze game.
I never played it. I've seen it though.
I've seen videos.
I grew up in the area where it was like a big game. So
You want to play it?
Oh, no.
There's no trick to it. It's just you should finish the
Yeah, I
movie.
know. It's literally the shit
I
that
promise you,
jumps
there's
out.
no trick to it.
Yeah, I know it's no trick to it. It literally it ends with a scary, but no, I'm good.
No, where'd you hear that from? No.
Oh man, I don't think I haven't. I hate to have like a Chris moment, but I haven't had like a game scare me like that though. I don't know what it is. I think I ain't really play scary games when I was growing up like that anyway. Like most I played was Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat when I was growing up was like 4 and 3. So yeah, I didn't.
That's what I was saying. Like it wasn't like the Mortal Kombat that I played. I think it's 11 or something. It's the one that they came out. It came out on the Nintendo Switch or whatever.
Yeah,
That one, I bought it because I was like, okay, I remember it from when I was younger. So when I was younger, the Mortal Kombat were a lot different and things like that. I was like, okay, it's gonna be the same. Then I'm looking and I'm like, okay, he's bad. I'm like, okay, what's going on? He's coming over here like grayed out and everything like that, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? What is wrong with this? And it's not the same. And then the lady that they're fighting at the end, she made me mad. She has like several different powers and she can do things and manipulate them, and it was just horrible. Needless to say, I needed my husband help me win.
Yeah, this is an annoying boss
I
battle.
cried.
You gotta beat her multiple rounds too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to beat him multiple rounds. I've lost several times. Threw down the remote. It's like, I'm done.
I find funny. That game actually has different endings if you like, depending on how many rounds you won or lost.
Yeah. Depending on how many, if you lost towards her, I forgot what happens if you lost, but I remember the one time that I got help and we beat her, and it goes on to like a different thing. Like there's a different story mode that you can go on to. It's just different things with that game.
I can say that now, even though I don't have a scary moment, I do have like just a memorable, I guess kind of horror moment in gaming. Metal Gear Solid, the original one. 2 moments in that game that I feel like can kind of fit horror. When you first kind of meet Cyborg Ninja, and you had to walk through that hallway where he killed everyone, and like it's a scene I remember where, because he had like the active camouflage, so like literally it looks like a floating body is like kind of like stuck to the ceiling, when really it's Cyborg Ninja with his katana holding the body up towards the ceiling, then he drops it, and you just see the door kind of slide open, but you don't see no one walk through. That was kind of memorable, because it kind of really played on the disturbing, and on the PlayStation 1, like it showed like the big gashes and all the dead soldiers throughout this hallway, and then the Psycho Mantis thing. Anybody know Metal Gear Solid? Cause y'all
Yeah.
I haven't played through the first one all the way.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Psycho Mantis, like when you first meet him, like you can't fight him. Like if you don't bet, like you're going to lose the first couple times because Psycho Mantis reads your controller inputs.
Yeah.
So
you can like turn off your controller.
No, he can't, but he can read your controller. He can turn off the TV.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. So like that, yeah.
That's crazy.
Hideo
That's
Kojima
rage
was
quit
like,
inducing.
Hideo Kojima was like a early genius when it came to like stuff like
Still a
that.
genius.
Also created
Death Stranding.
Yeah, Death Stranding, Silent Hill. But he was able to like make your screen like switch over. And back then on the old analog TVs, whenever you turn to like a different screen, it show like what output you're using with those big VCR letters. So what he would do, he would switch and then have Hideo, Hideo Kojima.
Oh, wow.
So it just have Hideo up there, and like you literally can't do nothing. You'll come back and you'll be damn near dead because Psycho Mantis just had a field day with you while the screen was gone. He could turn down the volume on the TV. Like, there was a lot of things that he could do on that game. And one interesting thing, the dialogue choices that he has. Because like he'll tell you put your remote down, and he'll use the rumble factor to make the remote like move. And then he'll read your memory card, and he'll be like, oh, so you've been playing Final Fantasy 15. He says, so you didn't complete it, so you're not a person who completes your tasks. Like he'll like kind of give you a psychoanalysis based off the games that you play, because he can read and see that you didn't complete the game or that how many times you played. And he'll be like, oh, so you don't play Metal Gear Solid that much. Last time you played it was like June 17th or whatever.
Wow.
So yeah, like I don't know, I felt like that was genius. It kind of fits horror a little bit, just a little bit.
Isn't that the game where if you wait a long time, the boss eventually just dies of old age?
That's
No,
Metal Gear
that's-
Solid 3.
Yeah, that's Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid 3.
But
That's
yeah,
funny.
the only way you could be Psycho Man is you have to plug your remote into like the second input because you can't read.
Yeah.
Oh, he only reads the first input?
Huh?
He only reads the first input?
Like
Yeah, but that's
like
the
if you're
thing.
in
Like,
the
so
player
like when
one
you
slot.
call, because like on the game, like you have codec, so you can call, and there's this dude named Master Miller, which I'm not gonna spoil the game for you, but if you call him, he'll give you hints, and he'll be like, you know, he's reading all my moves. I can't do anything. He's like, try plugging controller input 1 to controller input 2. So like, yeah.
Something that easy.
And even then, like with that game, it's so innovative. Like they have like even a secret codec that's on the actual game cover, the game case. Back when game cases was a thing, and you can call that one and it'll give you a tip too.
Oh, wow.
But it's like a random voice that just tells you to do something during the match. Like he said, shoot the mask off of all the cover statues because the cover statues has Psycho Mantis' real face on it. And when he sees his real face, he's not able to focus enough to use his psychic abilities to read your input.
Wow. That's real intricate. Like,
Yeah, it's PlayStation 1. This isn't like
yeah. That's crazy though.
But
Yeah,
that's crazy for the time. I mean,
Yeah.
that came out so long ago. So for it to do all of that
Yeah.
at that time, that's crazy. Was
Yeah,
crazy.
and also Hideo genius because he went on to make Silent Hills. So yeah.
How old were you when you played that?
What was I when I played Metal Gear Solid 4? I mean, the first Metal Gear Solid, like 5.
That's crazy. I can't do that. If it was 5 in the TV, like the character on the TV shuts the TV.
Yeah,
off,
I don't know. I just
I'm
had
saying fuck that.
I had a
Leave.
deep interest with like Metal Gear Solid was the first game that I fell in love with just because like it was the first game I got my ass whooped in. Because Metal Gear Solid is a hard game. Like it's a hard from that when you're a kid you used to, I have a gun. I can kill anything. And it's a stealth game, so then you realize,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to sneak around and stuff. So it was the first game that made me like use my brain and shit.
Oh, if
It
you
made
love
me
hard
smart.
games.
Huh?
I said if you love hard games, Dark Souls.
No, stop.
Second row then.
But yeah, I guess those two moments fit the Cyborg Ninja and Psycho Mantis.
Gabrielle?
I mean, I had some kind of experience like that while I was playing Doki Doki Literature Club. I was towards the end, and then Monica somehow knew my name. I freaked out in front of my sister and my aunt. I was like, oh, so this thing is actually true. What? I almost cried. I was
Remember,
like,
I
oh,
turned
shit.
off my computer in that moment. It said, hey, I'm good. I'm done.
So wait, what is it actually like when you say know it's your name? You're not talking about your username, I'm guessing. Then.
Yeah, because you can input like a name, right? Like a nickname. And she somehow knew my full-on name. I was like, oh no, she did not just say that.
Wow. That's scary.
Yeah,
He
like she
was,
accesses your computer files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
He's got,
wow.
he's got like a internal spreadsheet of like thousands and thousands of names, and it just picks the names from your files that appears like the most frequently. So it's just like it's like hello such and such and such, or should I say your actual name?
Oh wow.
It's just like
It's like I'm
They
turning the game off.
game
now.
caught a lot of controversy after that too, because they were claiming that it was like
invasion of privacy.
yeah. They said
And
that it was
like
data
promoting-
mining.
Yeah,
Promoting
it
suicide.
absolutely
I
is.
mean, basically it did. It data mines your computer to figure out what your real name was.
So for me, technically it's a mobile game,
So, no.
but
Temple Run.
it is no. So you remember back when Slenderman was big, right?
Oh.
And they transferred it to mobile version, right? At the time, I couldn't get it on my computer, so I got the mobile version. And I was playing it on a bus with my friend. And so I got there. I was getting the first note. I think I got up to like the third note. And as soon as I turned around after I got the third note, me and my friend were like had our eyes glued to the phone. And I turned around, we both see Slenderman. We were like, "Oh my gosh!" And the whole entire bus got quiet. We were like, "Sorry." So yeah. What was? I mean, Chris, you kind of answered this one, but what was the hardest hardest horror game or horror game mechanic you had to go through when playing a game?
Gosh, that was hard.
For me, it's like I will play. I don't play horror games, but a lot of games like I do play will have like monsters in it, and I can kill monsters. I don't care. But what I hate is when these fucking monsters act like insects. I cannot, like, if they're like bug type fucking monsters, like, I hate it. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake and I loved it, but I hated those fucking monster sections. I had to kill basically like these big ass worms, and that they would like jump on like your heart and attack you and all that stuff, and you would be immobilized. So you'd have to switch to a different character. You'd have to kill just big ass spiders, big ass snakes, anything that you could think of. They just made really fucking big, and you have to kill it. And you would just have to kill it, and I mean, it's just like, I don't like insects. I don't like insects. So the hardest part for me was to fucking look at the fucking screen while playing it. I can spam the same moves, but I'd be like this, because I just don't like insects. Oh no, I'm not even gonna touch it. I have no reason
that
to.
one.
What was the question about like horror game mechanics?
Yeah, so like what are the hardest horror game mechanics or just horror games in general that you had to like push through?
Characters who move slow as fuck. like they very clearly never seen Zombieland. Don't know that the slow ones always die first. Like I played Resident Evil 2, the remake, and it's crazy to me how like through all of this, like I'm in a police station and it's infested with zombies, and there's zombies that can crawl all on the ceiling. Yeah, and it's like you don't haul your ass and move at any faster speed, and it's crazy just how slow and nonchalant this bastard Leon is, just like casually trotting down the hallway with his gun.
Oh no, I'll do you one better, because you played the remake. So imagine, well, I ain't played Resident Evil 4 when it first came out, but I remember all the hype of it. So of course remake hasn't came out yet, but I played the remaster on the PS4 when it came out.
I knew something was wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's fine, keep going.
As you know me, I pay attention to
The show must go on.
But in the original Resident Evil 4, you know how you said like you hate how slow he moves and all that. You could move while you aim, right? In Resident Evil 2, right?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
right.
So yeah, in Resident Evil 4, when you aim, you can't. You literally are in tank mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't move as you aim a gun. So me coming from like I grew up in like, you have games like Gears of War and Dead Space, and all these games are inspired by, I forgot the person who made Resident Evil 4, but they're inspired by him because it he was the first person that revolutionized the over-the-shoulder third-person action. So I'm like, oh, so yeah, it's just going back to that. Didn't realize he didn't revolutionize enough to where he can move at the same time. 'Cause I'm so used to, if all these games are inspired by that, then that should still be a thing. No, you can't move. So when you shoot, can't do anything. You literally can't move. You can't move to melee. Like you have to stand there, kind of melee. Like so, like that was one of the stupidest game mechanics to me. But I feel like it's just a product of its time.
Since
the fact
we're-
that you can move. By
I was going to say, since we are still talking about Resident Evil 4, one thing I really hated was a special zombie by the name of the Regenerator. That thing pissed me off to no degree, because with regular zombies you just aim for their head or you repeatedly shoot them and they die. This zombie didn't die when you did that. You had to hit special marks inside its body, and if you didn't have a thermal scope, you weren't gonna see them and you weren't gonna hit them. So they just kept coming back over and over and over again until you finally killed them. No matter what you did, they just kept coming back. That was like the most annoying zombie to deal with. And it wasn't even a boss, that's the worst part. It was just a standard zombie that just kept coming back.
Another horror blast horror mechanic that I do realize pops up in a lot of horror games. Like you have a shop that you can buy stuff at, and like they'll give you the option to buy later game items early, and you're like, I might as well buy this, and then you get like to a level right before you have to use it, and they just give it to you for free, even though you bought it. So that's the stupidest game. Because if you do that in Resident Evil 4, now you still have to have both these weapons in your inventory slot.
Yep.
So like, even if you sell one, like you can sell the one that you bought for like $0 because you got one for free. So it's like, yeah, that's the one thing I hate. If you're gonna give me something, don't put in the shop. Obviously, I don't need it right now.
Yeah, not in a horror game, but that happens to me all the time in RPGs.
Yeah, or you
Like,
one of those guys where it's like you'll save an item and it's like, oh, it's really powerful and I'm gonna need it for later, and then you end up getting to damn near the end of the game and then you haven't used it because you've been so scared of wasting it.
That's how I end those games with 10,000 HP per dice.
One thing I do like about Resident Evil 4, they make you use it for the most part. Because if you keep using the pistol all the time, you're gonna stop getting ammo for it. So then they'll give you a lot of ammo for it. So yeah, it makes you switch up your weapons and tactics a lot.
Yeah. So since we're on the topic of Resident Evil, can we talk about the fact that your inventory slots are dependent on the size of the actual piece of inventory you have?
Yeah.
Like, I hate that.
It
It does make sense. It is applying a lot of realism to the system, but I don't like it.
For me, Sony, I basically have a pocket dimension. But wait, depends on the size of the item coming into that dimension.
Yeah.
I have all these weapons on me. Somehow I'm still carrying them. That's probably why he runs so slow.
Right.
That explains it. That's probably why he runs so slow.
No,
Yeah,
'cause, like,
I'd be running slow too if I had to carry like 5 rocket launchers.
The thing is though, like when you go into the police department, you still have just the regular pistol, and you're running slow as shit. But then once I get a minigun, an MP5, another pistol with like a bunch of